Good morning, traders. It is Monday morning. It's around 2 a.m. on the West Coast, or about 5 a.m. on the East Coast. And yeah, let's get started. I'm just going to be going over futures and the indexes and, where I think we go from the week. And here's my thoughts on how I make my levels. And yeah, so let's just get started. All right, so firstly, we have ES. So this was the CPI print on Thursday, right? Where we had the gap down in the monster rally, then the gap down on Friday, the gap up on Friday, then we basically just fell down the whole day, right? But it's interesting to note we're on the 1 hour time frame here, and ever since Sunday before, so it's been almost a week, right? We've been consolidating in this big range at 35.80. You see how every time we come near 35.80 to 35.90, it bounces, right? Even the gap down today, not really a gap down, but the open, Sunday's open today, 3 p.m. on West Coast at least. It bounced right near the box, like not exactly at the box, but relatively close enough to where if it goes higher, we know that this was like an accepted bounce. The same thing on Friday's high, right? Friday's high was some resistance here, pivot here, right? So we kind of have this 37.34 area. It's another pivot. But basically these are my levels, right? We have the 35.80. I'm not really gonna make any levels down here because I do think if we break this 35.70 to 35.85 area, I do think we'll retest the lows or potentially somewhere in between, like 35.30s, like somewhere around here. But for now, I think the trend is looking alright, but the stocks overall are not looking the best. But dips are kind of buyable at 35.80 because that's almost a 50. That is a 50-point drop from here. So I do think some dips could work at 35.80 to 35.75, just like a 5 to 10 point stop loss. Potentially looking back for 36, 36.10 to 36.30 retest, or potentially even higher. I'd say back to 36.50, the purple line right here. And for me to take any like a long position, it'll probably have to break 36.50 for the upside, right? I'm not comfortable taking a long position here. I'd probably want to take it more in the breakout, or my second option would be taking it at the 35.80 support level all the way down here. If it breaks under that, I'm not really comfortable taking longs. In fact, I'd probably be a short, targeting 3,500 or lower. The trend hasn't really changed, right? This is it's just like a big consolidation zone. So for this to go anywhere like meaningful, it would it'd either have to break 35.80 or base 36.50, right? Or even pushing it like 36.70, right? So these are my levels for ES. These 4 or 5 levels right here. This kind of zone right here. Okay, and then for NQ is NASDAQ. I have 10,076, 10,766. I'm sorry. Similar zone on ES, but it's not really the same zone because on the same time right here, ES was all the way down here. NQ is a little bit higher. So there's some differences because of the beta. NQ I think is a 1.2 beta, I think, or 1.3, something like that. But we have the 760 level right here, and then we have the 972 level, 975. You can see this zone right here. Some support. Like we can move it a little bit down. Doesn't matter. Some support, resistance, support. It's like a common pivot. Moving a little bit higher because those wicks. But yeah, for me to play the upside breakout, I'd probably go in the 930 break. Depends on how it approaches, right? Like how it approaches is very key. Is it like strong? Is it something like this, or is it kind of like struggling near 930? Because that really what determines where it goes from there. And over 972, there's probably just rockets to 11,100 and to 200, 300, all the way up here. Under 75, 10,760 to 10,700, I'm not really interested in taking any longs. Just because it's kind of a magnet for the lows, right? You can see come right here, and then boom, I could probably just get slammed like something like this, right? So something like that comes near down the resistance, and then boom, right? Probably even lower or something. But like for example, if we're looking at the mega caps, so let's say SMH, right? That's a CPI print low. It's very ugly. Nvidia, right? All pretty much the whole bounce is just given back, down $8, down almost 6, 7, 8%. So it's same thing with AMD, Google, Amazon, right? The whole bounce is pretty much given away, and they're coming near lows. Although there's a bunch of earnings this week and the week after. So like the Amazon Tech has earnings the week after this week. Even banks aren't looking the prettiest. So nothing. I mean, they're holding a little bit better than tech, obviously, but if we go back to, let's go to QQQ for example. Oh God, hold on. Okay, pretty much gave away almost the whole bounce. From 271, like down $11. It's only $6 away from the 52-week close. So every pop is just getting sold lower highs every time, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower lows, right? Lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. So it just keeps on going lower. So I wouldn't really trust the bounce, right? It's kind of, we could kind of see some buying pressure on these wicks, but it's kind of maybe small accumulation for now. And yeah, these are my levels for the week right here. Not really too bullish. There's some data coming out later. But for me to take a bullish stance, it'd have to break 930 or ES on the 50 mark right here. I mean, we can kind of see this uptrend going, and usually what happens with these is that they'll go like this and then they'll go vertical, right? So it'll probably just pick up momentum. Like, I wonder how I could draw it. No. What's that? No. Anyways, I can't really draw it, but yeah, like these they tend to go slowly, and then you'll just see like something like this, you know, it'll go up, and then it'll go vertical, right? We see this many times. Go up, vertical, go up, vertical, goes up, vertical, goes up, like it accelerates, right? The slope increases. So I think that's what might happen into the open. Come near 3650 to 3665 right here, and it'll probably just reject back to 3630 or lower. But yeah, those are my levels. Here's NQ one more time, and yeah, if not really too much, not really too complicated, thankfully, because we're trading in a range. You want to trade the extremes. You don't want to really trade in the middle, just so you don't lower your win rate and take unnecessary losses. But and yeah, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to message me or at me or whatever. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.